Hello. It's nice to see you again. Today, I'd like to take some time to introduce Here and Now Community Inclusion Program. First, I'll give a brief overview, and then in a little while, I'll introduce two people who are working with us. Here and Now Community Inclusion Program started in August 2018, and at the beginning, we started with just 2 friends with disabilities. As of November 2024, we now have 24 friends participating in the program. There are about 27 teachers involved. Some people work part-time and others work full-time. The center where we are filming right now is our center in Langley. We also have another center in Coquitlam. There we rent a facility at Gallery Church in Coquitlam to run our program. So that's a brief introduction, and now for a more detailed introduction to our programs and various processes, 2 of my colleagues who work with me will explain. First, the person on my right is Ms. Youngji Na, our program director. Ms. Na has been with Here and Now since we unofficially started in 2008. Back then, we began by inviting adults with disabilities from this area to our homes for 2 or 3 day home camps. Later, this evolved into an art studio, and when we received approval for the CI program from CLBC in 2017, Ms. Na played the most significant and invaluable role in making that happen. And the person on the left is Mr. Kyu Young Lee, our quality service advisor, who is responsible for overseeing the overall quality of our services. So from now on, I will introduce the program in a Q&A format, and then we will have some time to go over the process as well.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. First, could you briefly explain your role as the program director?
Yes. My role is to serve as a bridge connecting the 3 groups involved in the program: the participants, their parents, and the staff. When new participants join us, I handle their intake, identify their needs, and work together with their parents to set things up. Then I assign the appropriate staff so that the participants can adapt well to the program and to ensure everything runs smoothly.
Yes. Do you have any particular guiding principles or philosophies that you follow?
Basically, special education is about helping our friends with disabilities adapt well as independent individuals within society and live as members of the community. And that's what we do. I believe our CI program is a part of that effort. And the most important direction for us is to provide our participants with a program that is enjoyable, joyful, and makes them happy. So, above all, by focusing on person-centered thinking, we strive to find a good balance between what our friends need and what is important to them, rather than running a program that fixes or controls them. Our role is to support them so they can follow a good path. That's the direction I want to go. So what matters most to me is that our friends are truly happy and excited to come to this program. I hope this day program becomes so enjoyable and positive that even at home, when someone says, "Let's go to the day program," they jump up and want to come. Even if they're not feeling well, they'd still want to come. I hope that through this program, our friends can truly establish their sense of self-worth and come to realize that they are truly valuable individuals. I also believe it is our role and direction to help our friends find ways to serve and take on roles within society. Since society doesn't often provide opportunities to volunteer or work, we are trying to seek out even those possibilities as much as we can.
Earlier, when I introduced you, I didn't mention your past work, but Ms. Na Youngji majored in special education, and even after graduating, she has continuously worked with people with developmental disabilities, from children to adults. Now, even after coming to Canada, she continues to engage in various activities for adults with developmental disabilities. So, the CI program here is basically a place for adults with disabilities who have graduated from high school. Parents might be curious about how this is different from life at school? What would you say is the biggest difference between life at school and coming here?
At school, perhaps, teaching our friends within a structured program is very important. But our program focuses more on naturally growing together through daily life, rather than just teaching and learning. So some parents may come here with expectations, for example, asking for academic things like getting better at math or reading. But rather than that, I think the C program is to help our friends, who are all adults now, discover what they like and how we can help them build their confidence and self-esteem, and help them live while taking on another role in this society.
The most important thing, first of all, is probably safety. Would it be correct to say that our main goal, above all else, is for everyone to spend a truly happy and thoroughly enjoyable day in a safe and secure environment, surrounded by good people and wonderful, supportive colleagues? So we usually refer to them as teachers, but honestly, I think it might be more appropriate not to use the term teacher. The reason is that teacher is generally perceived as someone who teaches something at school. So I wish we could just call our staff by their names like people do here in Canada. But since the culture doesn't really favor calling people by their names, calling them teacher has just become a sort of title. In fact, the term teacher gives the impression that our staff are teaching something to the people who come here. So we're not really fond of using the word teacher. We've tried calling each other by our names, but that didn't work out well. So for now, I'm still using the term teacher. However, I hope you can understand that when we use the word teacher, it's not in the sense of someone who teaches, but simply as a form of address. So when we hire staff, what is the most important quality we look for?
When we hire staff, as you just mentioned, we're not hiring teachers but supporters. So we look for people who can provide good support. Basically, we place the highest importance on having the right mindset, understanding people, and having a respectful attitude toward others.
Of course, people who have worked in this field for a long time do have certain advantages. Yes. But even if someone hasn't worked in this field, as long as they have enough love and dedication for people with disabilities, is that what matters most? Then, since we have a center in Langley and another in Coquitlam, could you introduce them a bit and explain how the programs are connected?
We originally started out in Surrey, but after moving to Langley in 2023, we realized that there are families and friends living in Coquitlam and Burnaby who have difficulty coming all the way here. Responding to requests from parents and considering those friends, we rented another location in Coquitlam. At first we started with just one day, but now we run programs there 3 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So it's not that everything happens only in Langley. Sometimes friends living in Coquitlam come to Langley, and friends living in Langley also go to Coquitlam. Moreover, our programs aren't limited to just the Coquitlam or Langley locations. Our friends participate in programs throughout the community, making use of community centers, libraries, swimming pools, and various other places.
Geographically, we currently have locations in Langley and Coquitlam, so naturally people living in Surrey or Langley will mostly come to the Langley Centre. For those living north of the river in areas like Coquitlam or Burnaby, we've arranged for them to go to the centre in Coquitlam. When it comes to running the program, we have both group teams and individual teams. Could you introduce those a bit for us?
Once our students graduate from high school, they receive funding through CLBC. That funding is very important, but first, depending on each student's individual preferences or characteristics, we decide together whether it would be better for them to receive one-on-one support or support in a group. We tailor our programs accordingly. Just because someone starts with one-on-one support doesn't mean it's always only one-on-one, and just because someone is in a group doesn't mean everything is done together as a group. Those who need one-on-one support receive it. But students who are in one-on-one programs can also participate in group activities whenever they want. Also, even among the students in group programs, we can partially provide one-on-one support by focusing on content that suits their individual needs during the sessions. So, About once a month, we also have programs where all the students come together as a group. So the most important thing is to tailor the programs, whether one-on-one or group sessions, according to each student's preferences and characteristics. And we proceed by setting up the programs that best suit them.
Then, parents or others might be curious about the kinds of activities that are mainly done in the group sessions. What kinds of activities do you usually do?
In our group programs, when we first gather in the morning, we start with circle time, where everyone comes together to go over the day's schedule and share any important information. And we need to know at that time. During the morning, we mainly do activities like art, music, focus sessions, or outings. Then, in the afternoon, we mainly do physical activities or exercise. Among the different types of exercise, walking is the safest, most necessary, and something our friends can do for a lifetime, so we focus on walking. We make sure to give our friends about an hour each day to walk. When there are individual needs or specific requirements, we make sure to incorporate them smoothly into the overall program, and we also adjust and change the programs according to the seasons as needed.
So, if we break down the day into morning, lunchtime, and afternoon, it sounds like the mornings are mainly spent doing activities indoors. Then, after having a meal, you go outside for activities in the afternoon. And about once a week, you even have outings or similar activities. So the program is structured in this way, right? Of course, individuals can join the group team, but it seems there is also support for those who don't participate in the group and prefer to do activities individually. In those cases, how is support provided?
The most important thing is to find out what that person's needs are. And then, after discussing with their parents, we plan a customized program tailored to them, set goals, and proceed accordingly. So depending on the individual, even if they receive one-on-one support, the type of program they participate in can vary. Sometimes they come to the center for indoor programs, and other times we go to places like community centers, libraries, or swimming pools for outdoor activities and run programs there. So many of the kids go for walks, play basketball, and some of them swim or participate in library programs. They also join various new programs at the community center, including seasonal programs and other activities offered there.
Yes, overall, you've just given us an introduction to the programs. For today, we'll wrap up the filming here, and next, we'll explain the process. It seems we've spent quite a bit of time already, so we'll end the introduction here for now, and take time in the next session to explain the process. Thank you for watching up to this point.